Welcome back, everyone. In today's session, we're going to learn how to print stack traces in JSON format. Oh, and by the way, in the last video, I realized I forgot to cover this important part, so let's make it right this time. Printing stack traces in JSON is incredibly helpful, especially when debugging errors in distributed systems or cloud environments. Let's dive straight into it. Alright, let's dive in and make things a bit exciting. We're going to see how to handle and print stack traces in JSON format. First up, let's add a try-catch block. On my screen, I'm writing a simple snippet to simulate an exception. Inside the try block, I'll intentionally throw a runtime exception, just for fun. Watch closely as I type. Now, in the catch block, we're using log.error to log this exception, and here's the magic: it includes the full stack trace. Awesome. Our code is all set up. Before we move on to printing the exception using the JSON console appender, let's first try it with the plain format console appender. Now, let's restart the application. The application is up and running. Let's clear the logs. Let's hit the API. Alright. Now, as you can see on my screen, the entire stack trace is being printed with all the details, showing exactly where the exception was thrown. This is what we got using the plain console appender. Now, let's step it up. We're going to switch to the console JSON template layout appender. Let's make the necessary changes in the configuration. Now, let's restart the application. Our application is up and running again. Next, let's clear the logs and hit the API again. Once the log line with the exception is printed, I'll grab that line and format it so you can see how the stack trace, along with the other relevant details, is neatly presented. As you can see in the log output, under the thrown keyword, we have three key fields: message, name, and extended stack trace. What's interesting here is the extended stack trace. It's not just a simple error message. Under it, we can see the complete stack trace, the class, method, and line number, all printed one by one. This format is completely different from the console appender format. Now, if you want your stack trace to appear in the same format as the plain console appender, we need to tweak our employee service layout to JSON just a little bit. First, add a new key called stacktrace. For that, we'll use the predefined exception resolver. Then, inside the field section, we'll specify stack trace so that it fetches and returns the actual stack trace. And here's the cool part: since we want that stack trace to be formatted nicely as a string, we'll set stringified true. This will ensure that the stack trace looks clean and easy to read when printed in the logs. Now, let's start the application again. Clean up the logs, and hit the API. Copy the exception log line, and format it as we did earlier. As you can see, this time the stack trace is printed exactly how we wanted. It's neatly included under the stacktrace keyword, just like the plain console appender format, but now it's fully structured in JSON for better readability and analysis. To summarize, today we learned how to print stack traces in JSON format using log4j2. We started by using a simple console appender, and then we moved on to the JSON console appender to format and print the stack trace in JSON. In the next video, we will dive into how to write a custom resolver for the JSON template layout to further enhance your logging. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more tutorials.